joyous occasion, right? We are celebrating 25 years of marriage. Oh, clap for that. Clap for that, right? Clap for that, right? Now, Darlene and Mr. Willie are an inspiration to us younger folks, right? You know, now, some of us get married, right, this year, and next year, it's a divorce, right? And you wonder and you ask your friends, man, what happened? I mean, like y'all paid like $20,000 for the wedding, 10,000 for the what you call that, the honeymoon, right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all couldn't stick it out, huh? They say it was supposed to be to what? To death do you part, right? Well, you know, so when I asked him that, right, I said, what happened to the to death do you part? He said, well, the good news is she didn't die. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? The Lord did not bless me with that one. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but you got to be careful, right? Because some folks, I tell you, you know, stay there. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how bad he treating you or she treating you, right? I'm telling you, don't listen to them folks, right? You know what I'm saying? Because if you look closely, right, they by themselves, right? They're by themselves for a reason, right? Because they tried to do what they told you to do. To stay with somebody that the Lord didn't bless you with, right? Just because you married that person, right? That don't mean that the Lord has blessed you with them, right? Now I know some will come to you and they will say, well, look here, right? Let's make up a name, right? Let's call her Sister Martha, right? They may come to Sister Martha and say, look, right? I know that your marriage is going through some things, right? You know, I know that he's been cheating on you, right? I know that he don't take you anywhere, right? I know that he don't even recognize your kids, right? But I think the Lord will want you to stay with him. Right? Now, when you look at your neighbor, pretend like that's the friend that's talking to you in a bad situation, right? Would you whisper in their ear and say, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Right? You know what I'm saying? Because some people say, you know, watch this. I love you to death. Oh, man. When I was single out there dating, right, and this woman told me she loved me to death. Woo! She meant it too. Because she stabbed me right after that. Right? Oh yeah, she stabbed me, you know what I'm saying? I always wanted a tattoo. You know, she gave me my first one. You know, she gave me my first one, right? You know, the funny part was, right, you know, the police came. Yes, the police came, right? And the ambulance came, right? You know, and the police, you know, they talking to me, you know, and then they went over to her, you know, put the handcuffs on her. The ambulance came, you know, and they put me on the gurney, right? So we both leaving out the house at the same time, right? I'm with the stab wound and she with the handcuffs, right? So the police try to put her in the car. The ambulance, they trying to get me, you know, in the ambulance, right? She breaks away from the police. Breaks away and try to get up in the ambulance with me, right? Man, you know, I got a good heart, right? I done leaned off the gurney, I looked at her, I said, no, boo-boo, they got a different ride for you. You gonna be riding just a little bit different, baby, you know what I'm saying? You might wanna dip your head getting in the car, because you know how the police is, right? You know what I'm saying? At least I was looking out for her, right? Her y'all well-being, right? You know, the funny thing is, I don't know if y'all know about DC General, right? They taking me over to DC General, right? Yeah. I'm setting up in there for like 12, 14, 15, 16, 17 hours. She was able to appear in court, right? Go through her little trial, get out, right? Went home, got my car, and met me in the emergency room, right? I can't make this up. I'm sitting in the emergency room waiting to see a doctor. I see her coming in. Man, I'm looking like, oh, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? How you get out the jail before I saw a doctor, right? She just sat down, wide-eyed, and she began to rub on the place where she stabbed me at, bro. Actually, it was on this side. It was on my heart. I was like, damn. You know, she's trying to prove her love, I guess. So she was rubbing on my skull, right? So I'm looking at her, right? And she said, you know what? I didn't mean to do that. You know I love you, right? Man, I looked at that woman as honestly as I can. I said, listen, right? I hear what you're saying, right? It means a lot to me, right? But your love is too strong for me, right? I tell you what. Find you somebody that want to die, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I want to live for real, you know what I'm saying? For real, I don't want no more tattoos, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get over this one, though, right? I want no more tattoos, right? The moral of the story is, right, if you with the wrong person, right, don't let nobody motivate you to stay with them, right? Don't let you motivate nobody to stay with you, right? For real, right? And you know how you know your relationship is going down? When you start arguing in public. Huh? Like a public place like church. You shut up. No, you shut up. Hey, pastor, you ain't gonna be the only one laying hands today. I'm trying to tell you. Man, look. See, that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? That is dead wrong, right? Right? Matter of fact, when you look at your neighbor and say, would you do me like that? See, this is a teaching lesson, right? Because I want you to feel good, right? Because if the person that you with don't make you feel good, right? All the prayer in the world ain't gonna help you feel good, okay? Okay, just recognize that the Lord is trying to show you something, right? Right? And speaking of the Lord showing you something, right? I gotta skip a beat for a moment, right? As I panned around the room, right? And when I looked at the bar, right, the first thing that came to my mind, right? I know the saints in here, the holy folks in here was like, Lord, now you had changed water into wine. Right? And I'm trying to figure out how I can get to the bar without the pastor seeing me. Father God, would you guide my steps? I appreciate you putting the food beside the bar, so if the pastor see you guide my steps. He'll think I'm going to get some food, right? So Lord, if I just happened to just so dip over there, just had the bartender already had mine ready and had more juice than liquor because I want to be good tomorrow in church. I want my praise to be holy, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? Now some people say, you know what though? What's wrong with drinking, right? They would give you scripture, right? I'm gonna give you a little bit. They say Moses planted a vineyard, and then Moses drunk of that vineyard, right? The moral of the story is Moses has actually planted some good liquor. He just drunk to it. That's all that was, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to help you, right? I'm trying to help you focus, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want you feeling bad and like somebody judging you, right? You know what I'm saying? And I know a couple of you was probably like, you know what? I hope ain't nobody count my drink because they drink too. That what you was thinking, right, bro? You was thinking, right? You know what I'm saying? Look at her watching me and she on her fourth drink. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about that, right? But back to relationship, right? If the person that you with don't make you feel good, right? Then you need to thank the Lord and disappear on them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now I ain't saying don't pray for them, right? You know what I'm saying? Just pray that they find somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The Lord, gather my steps. Let me keep on walking, right? Because some of us are good church folks. We good saints. We good hearted, right? But sometimes your good heart will allow you to have somebody use you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Anything you need. Anything you need. You call me. Anything. It's anything you need, right? Now, I'm going to tell you how this works, though, right? Because they really don't mean anything you need. I did that one time, right? You know what I'm saying? A friend of mine, man, anything you need, John, man. Anything you need, man, you come to me, you ask, I got you, man. Sorry what happened, blah, 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 man. I got you. I said, wow. I am glad that your heart is out there for me, bro. Now, look here, right? I'm going to need like a couple of dollars, right? And then all of a sudden, he said, you know, when I say anything you need, you know what I'm saying? I meant like prayer, you know what I'm saying? Like pray for you, maybe pick you up. Sometimes they take you to another location, right? I wasn't really talking about money, right? You know, I wasn't talking about money, right? Why do people do that, right? Now, you said anything, right? Don't money fall under anything, right? But what they say is this, though. This one kills me. If you had just, God knows I want to give it to. God knows I want to give it to. If you had just asked me that last week, I had you last week. I did. I had you last week, right? One thing I love about the church, right? This is what I love about the church, right? And this is real. Now look, I'm just going to be honest with you, right? When the church needs money, amen. When the church needs money, right? I need you to give liberally, right? And sometimes I need you to give until it hurts, right? But listen, right? You know what I'm saying? And when I begin to count it, and if it's not the right amount, I'm going to figure as a preacher that somebody don't love the Lord as they should. You know what I'm saying? And we're looking for a greater blessing, right? Now, let's switch it around. You go to the church. You say, look at Pastor. You know, red dude. You know, I'm on -500. I'm a red pastor, right? Real, you know what I'm saying? If you can just find it in your heart, right? Now, being a pastor, I'm gonna be your pastor today, right? Being your pastor, right? Listen, I know you need it. I know you're going through something. I do, right? You know what I'm saying? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pray for you, right? Oh, I'm gonna pray for you, you know what I'm saying? That what you asked me for, Lord, let her get it from somebody else. Hey, man, you ain't feel like go through you? Well, you know what I'm saying? Now, my anniversary is coming up. It ain't my 25th anniversary, right? But at the end of this show, right? At the end of the show, from the bottom of my heart, right? I'm going 2-step all around this building, right? And I'm going to come upon each and every individual, right? With just a few words, right? And I'm going to tell you up front, I know that I made you laugh. Right? I know that I need you to feel, right? But what I need for you to do, right, is make me feel good. When you return to joy, when you return to joy, you know what I'm saying? Don't you want a blessing?
Oh my
You want a blessing? The Bible says, do unto others as you wish to be done unto yourself. Now, I'm saying what I would like to be done unto myself is that is each member in here that's a part of my church, this evening, the Church of Joy, right? The Church of Joy, right? And I want you to feel real good. I want you to feel joy. I want you to feel so joyful that you cash at me. Amen. Oh, amen. When you look at your neighbor and ask your neighbor, right? Have you connected with your cash? Have you connected with it, right? Now, some of you, you know what I'm saying? If some of your friends is living out of town and everything, right? Contact them, right? Let them know about Cash App, right? Also, when I'm offering out of towners, right? This is what I'm offering out of town. And I want y'all to listen, right? Because you might not be able to give me the money personally, right? But with your monetary donation, right? I'm going to offer you a prayer sock. A prayer sock. And when I offer you this prayer sock, just know that I prayed for you to give me more money. You know what I'm saying? And if you keep this prayer sock, I promise you, this is a serious promise, right? If you get the prayer sock from me for only $2,000, only $2,000. Don't look at the cost of the money. Look at the blessings that the Lord is going to be bestowed upon you. Look what the Lord going to do for you, right? This is what the Lord is going to do for you, right? The Lord is going to allow you, right? The money that you give me, the Lord is going to allow you to see me spend your money. Yes, He is. He's going to going to allow you out of both of your eyes to see exactly what I'm doing with it. Both of them. You know what I'm saying? Even if you only got one eye, even if you Stevie Wonder, I get a receipt in Braille to let you know that your money came through. It came through. It came through. Now, some people don't like that when you talk about church. Ain't nobody talking about church like the Lord ain't got a sense of humor, right? Now, what if the Lord was on money, huh? They say that Jesus fed a multitude of people with a loaf of bread and a fish. Amen. One piece of bread and a fish. Imagine that, right? But out of all his blessings, imagine if Jesus was on money, right? Right? I'm going to focus on you this evening because the evening is about you all, right? Imagine all the blessings that Jesus had bestowed upon you. And Jesus said, you know what? I've been blessing y'all a long time, like, for real, like, 25 years, right? You know what I'm saying? People listen, right? Y'all said y'all love me, right? But why is Jesus, your Lord, still rocking the same sandals? Well, I'm still on the mute. If you love me, give me what has been given unto you. You know, for real. I'm going to ask y'all something else, though, right? Because I got to say this, right? Why y'all stop beating y'all kids? I'm saying, though, why y'all stop beating y'all kids? Because I'm reminded of Big Mama's house, right? Big Mama's house, we was kids, my grandmother, she said, clean my house. All my grandkids clean my house, right? Now, one of my cousins, he wanted to be a little bold, right? Be like 10, 9, 10 years old. He looks at my grandmother. He said, man, I want to go outside. And me and the rest of my cousins, we looked around the room at each other like, you know, this might be our last day seeing cuz. Big Mama she said, what? She grabbed the broom, looked at her, bowed, and hit him right across the head with it. Man, me and my cousin looked at Big Mama. I looked at her again. I said, you know what, Big Mama, you know what? I'm going to clean your house so good, I'm going to go ahead and dust off these light bulbs because you ain't playing, for real. You is not playing for real, you know what I'm saying? The moral of the story, don't be afraid to whoop your kids because if you don't, your kids going to whoop you. Your kids going to whoop you for real. You know what I'm saying? You know, or, you know, the little smart mouth, especially when they get teenagers. I'm reminded of a story. Listen to me, church folks. When my son turned about, my oldest son, you know, he's 27 now, but when he turned about 16, yeah, you know, he got a little wind in his chest. Yeah, amen. Yeah, he got a little wind in his chest. I told him, you know, to take out the trash. That's all that I asked the young man. Look here, take out the trash, it's spilling over. I don't know why the youngest like keep putting trash on top of trash. Listen, you can't get more trash in there, spill it over. Take it out, right? You know. He's on the computer doing his thing, whatever, you know, little social media thing. And he looks up at me and continue to press on the computer and says to me, aye, my guy. Woo! Let me just say, woo! Let me just say to you, I felt like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Right? I saw a fire, right? And in the midst of that fire was me choking my son. You know? You know what I'm saying? And then he said, behold, I see a fourth. And now I understand what you wanted me to do. I'm going to take that out. See how that works? See, I was also, you know, I would teach my kids a lesson, right? Because, I grew up where my mother said, listen here, don't leave no dishes in the sink. We even had to dry the sink out. Dry the sink out? I mean, this what? Yeah, dry the sink out, right? So, okay, so when I grew up and I had kids, I told my kids, don't leave no dishes in the sink. My son, again, he decided he going to leave the dishes in the sink and get it whenever he going to get it, you know? So while he's in his room sleeping, I counted, huh? I kindly gather all the dishes. No, I didn't wash them, but I gathered the dishes. Look at your neighbor, say he gathered the dishes.
Gathered the dishes.
Right? I gathered the dishes. right? And as I'm gathering the dishes, right? Woo! I started to feeling real good and mighty, right? And I began to walk towards his room, and I opened up his door, and there he was, asleep in his bed, like he had just worked last night. And I took those dishes, and I put the dishes in the bed with him, and I took the trash can, and I put the trash can right beside his head where he was laying. Woo! And he woke up. Oh, Dad, man, what's up, man? I said, look here, son. I decided, right, that the trash and the dishes were so important to you, right? I decided to bring them to you so you can sleep with them. And I figured, when you get tired of sleeping with the dishes and the trash, right, you get up and take it out, right? So I left him in there, right, and I took the trash and I dumped the trash out too, just to let him know, because I figured, I think he loved it that way, right? So he took that trash out, right? The moral of the story is don't let your kids run you, you run your kids. Run them. Now, back to my telegram that I'm doing this evening, right? I'm looking at you, right? And I noticed while I was looking at you, right? You figured I ain't got cash yet, right? I got something better for you, right? I don't know where you live at, right? But I'm sure that there's a bank somewhere near you, right? I can meet you there, right? We together as a people can walk into the bank together, right? And walk up to the counter, right? You know what I'm saying? We're going to say a little prayer, right? I don't know what your prayer is going to be, right? But my prayer is going to be, Lord, let her give me everything that I asked for. Everything. So you have a checking account and a savings? Listen. Y'all don't do the pastors like that when they ask for money. I'm just saying, though, I'm your pastor tonight, so if I'm asking for a donation, right? I already told you about the prayer sock, right? And this prayer sock it's just not for one person. So y'all don't even know where the prayer sock will come from, right? I know you're thinking like, why I gotta pay $2,000 for a prayer sock, right? Because this prayer sock, I'm gonna take this one off my feet and I'm gonna mail it to you, right? Not both of them, just one of them, just to let you know that I got the other one, so we in connection. We really in connection, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, let me ask y'all something, right? Why people can't just give you a congratulations, right? Congratulations? No. Why can't people just congratulate you, right? They got to throw something extra in there, like, you could just be got married, right? And they'll say, you know what? I thought you was gonna marry Jimmy, but congratulations, though. You know what I'm saying? What is that? What is that? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we just be happy for one another? As a matter of fact, would you look at your neighbor like they ain't happy for you, just whisper in their ear, say, are you happy for me? You know what I'm saying? Because you want to know. You want to know, because sometimes, there you go, see, and she meant that too. So that's why I'm gonna give it y'all, because I also offer counseling to those that they're little, they really don't want to go in their pocket. And I'm trying to see, she's been listening, right? She's been listening, right? But listen, don't be worried about cash out, because I'm taking cash. Don't be worried about it, right? And I know y'all got cash because the liquor at the bar was free. Amen. It was free, even down to the ice cube. She shook some of y'all, and she stirred some of y'all. And y'all had to go in your pocket. But go ahead and go in there for me, though. You know what I'm saying? Do that, right? Listen, let me ask y'all a question, too, right? And I told you, the reason I'm talking about money, right, is because why do bill collectors call you with something stupid? I'm going to tell you what they call me with. They said, John, I said, yes. They said, we would like for to help you set up a payment plan. I'm like, wow. I again said to them, I got a better payment plan, right? And it's okay, so you want to send us some money today? I said, no, what I'm going to do is, my payment plan is, I'm going to offer you 12 months of nothing up front. As long as I calling me every day. So here go 12 payments of nothing. Okay, so don't call me no more. You know, for real though. That's not payment plan. How you gonna make a payment plan with nothing? You know what I'm saying? That's why I've been trying to figure how you make a payment plan with nothing. You know, nothing at all. Right? Now listen, right? Listen, I raised my hand for a reason. Because I'm feeling some heat on this side. I'm feeling some heat on this side. The reason why I'm feeling some heat on this side, right? Because I know it's a miracle. God's going to work a miracle out in your life. Y'all folks in the back, God's going to work a miracle out in your life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you heard me before, right? But this is the miracle. I'm going to tell you about the miracle that God's going to work for you this evening, right? Look around the table at the people that's at your table, right? Just look around the table, right? Okay? As you begin to look around the table, right? Tell each other, you know, we're going to get John some money today. Look at God work. Look at God work. And they smiling about it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put my faith all in that. You know, I'm faithful in that, you know, for real, you know. And why people act like they support you and they really don't support you, you could be a cake maker, right? And they'll tell you, you know what, I heard you making cakes. Yeah, I heard you making cakes. Somebody said that your cakes was good. Now, you know what's missing in the conversation? Out of everything I just said to you? They ain't never asked you, look, let me buy one of your cakes. You know what I'm saying? They just want to say, you know what I'm saying, I heard you making cakes, you know what I'm saying? I just want you to know I heard about it. But I ain't trying to support your cake business, you know. I heard you, you know, you're doing pretty good with it, right? You know what I'm saying? And then they try to, you know, they help you out. You know what I'm saying? According to a sister Mary, she said if you had put a little bit more baking soda in it, you know what I'm saying, it would have been, you know, it would have rolled a little higher. I mean, that's the advice you got. How about you just buy one? No, they don't want to do that. Huh? They don't want to do. As a matter of fact, I want everyone in this evening to pretend like you got a business, right? And the person that's sitting next to you is not supporting you. Look at them. And tell them, I'm still in business. I'm still in business. See, I'm still in business. I'm still in business. And listen, right? I'm not going to hold you all here for a long evening, but I'm going to leave y'all with this because I think it's very important, right? Now, you have never heard of a preacher threaten you because you ain't go in your pocket, right? I'm saying, if you don't go in your pocket, I'm locking all the doors, right? You got to come outside, right? And I'm just going to pet your pocket in Jesus' name. I'm just going to pet your pocket in Jesus' name, right? So listen here, right? I want y'all to understand something, right? On your walks of life, I don't care where you go and who you with, right? If the person that you with not bringing you joy, right? Then tell the Lord, thank you for the sign. He gone today. Or she gone today. You hear me, right? And at the end of the day, why? I'm looking over there. See, you know what? There's something going on with you, sister. I can okay? That man ain't doing you right. He go in the movies and just buy himself popcorn and don't buy you nothing. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. You don't need him. You know what I'm saying? If a man is not treating you like a queen, and if a woman is not treating you like a king, get rid of her. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody else pray for him. Say, Lord, thank you for letting this cup pass. Some cups can pass. Okay? And that could be one of the cups that you let pass, right? So this evening, on your way home, and right now, look at each and every one of your peoples right now, and just say, laugh. I wanted to say something else, but this is church crowd. I know how y'all do. My name is John Thompson, and I've been approving messages for a long time.